Well, this is the story of a boy named Rolf Sommer. He was born in 1926 to his parents who lived in a small town called Kunikan in Germany. At one point, the Nazis were taking over in Germany and they persecuted people they called inferior races. They felt that Ralph should be sent into France to an aunt and uncle and cousins that lived there in Forbach. It became unsafe where they were as the Nazis advanced into France, and he and his cousin Arthur were sent further into France. They were taken in by a farmer and the farmer's daughter, and were allowed to work on the farm. And so they stayed with them until it was no longer safe there either. Ralph was taken into a camp by the American Friends Service, and he was made a counselor to children who were refugees from the Spanish Civil War. And then he had to leave there too as the Nazis advanced. And then he was, unfortunately, met two Frenchmen who were Nazi collaborators, which he didn't know. And they said that they would be able to get him to safety, but they beat him severely and left him on a railroad track to die. Fortunately, a farmer found him and took him to La Ciotat, a small town, to the hospital there. There, the hospital administrator and his daughter, whose name was Suzanne, helped him recover. He was found and sent to an internment camp called Les Milles in France. He realized that he could not remain there and survive because a train left almost daily, taking internees there to camps in Germany and elsewhere that were worse, and he knew that he had to escape. He had a plan, which was very risky. He went out past to the guardhouse, and the guard said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm doing just an errand for the commandant. You can call him if you don't believe me." But he knew that the guard was afraid to do that. And of course he said, "Oh, go ahead." And he walked out of there with just the clothing on his back. He had nothing. He managed to disappear into a small town there where a restaurant allowed him to sleep on the floor in the back and work as a busboy. He became part of the French resistance. He was useful to them because he was a busboy and he could listen to Nazis who were there in the restaurant talking. After that, he joined the French underground, which was called the Maquis. All the way till the end of the war, he fought in different parts of France. At last, the United States Army came. Eventually, and it took a very long time, he got there and he had a chance to become accustomed to things in the United States. And eventually he met me. This was some years after that, when he lost his mother before I met him, and that was very sad. I think he had a lot of ability to find ways to get through things, use whatever abilities he had. It was a story that was unusual.